Gen Z is the first pure digital native generation. So basically, every time a Gen Z was born, you get a free iPad, right? With internet access available. No, I'm joking, but sort of true. They are born with the internet pretty much at their fingertips from a very early age. And so in the workplace, that means they have a lot of expectations. They're called the digital native generation. And there's some expectations that come with this. For example, access to information. Gen Z is very used to having information at their fingertips, a few seconds of a search, and they can find that out. But a lot of times our businesses are kind of siloed off. Information is very much on a need-to-know basis, and that can create some frustrations. High touch, they're very used to real-time, instantaneous communication, which again, sometimes companies are more like, let's do a monthly review, or we'll check in annually, and that can be challenging as well. Gen Z really is very values forward. They care about the environment, they care about diversity and belonging and inclusion. And that's something that organizations, I think, can do a much better job, not only of doing, but also making sure to communicate. What are we doing at a grand purpose beyond just profits as the only motivator? So those are some quick highlights as to what makes Gen Z a little bit different on the generational front. Yes, how do we attract Gen Z? I think that authenticity is the #1 recommendation that I would have. These kind of classic, really fancy corporate feeling marketing advertisements, they just don't seem to resonate with Gen Z. They're much more into authentic presentations of an organization, of an organization's employees, about their products themselves. So a little more casual, a little bit more personalized video content on TikTok and various social media platforms that could go a long way. Just wants to get a good listen, right? That can go a long way to helping them feel like, okay, this is a product that's kind of interesting to me. And they're not just trying to sell to me, they're trying to educate me, they're trying to make that connection. Also, pairing with popular influencers can be very, very valuable. So that again, it's like we're creating this partnership with people that you already know and like and trust, but with an emphasis on really making this feel like it's a natural fit versus an awkward, very forced promotion. So those are some ways I would recommend to start to create those connections with the next generation. Yes, so I mentioned earlier, leading with values is so critical. There's so many jobs out there. Gen Z is the most interconnected generation ever with social media and with the gig economy where they can find jobs at pretty much tomorrow, delivery or Uber, things like that. And so there needs to be a greater purpose to what your organization is trying to achieve to really attract this next generation. And then also, interestingly, very similarly to what I was talking about to marketing Gen Z, it's very important to also, from a communications perspective, kind of give them a taste of what your company is all about. And one of my favorite ways to do that is these kind of day in the life of videos where people can actually get a quick TikTok video walking around the office, maybe interviewing employees who are relatively early on in their career. Maybe were there someone just joining the company in the last 2, 3, 4 years to tell their perspective on why it's a great company to work for. And then I also want to make sure and emphasize leadership, learning and development opportunities. Gen Z really wants to see that they're making progress in their career. They don't want to just get stuck in a role and be like, well, I have to be here 5 years and I've already learned everything I could. They want to see that they're constantly growing. So things like mentorships and career mapping, training programs, that's a way for them to see that, okay, we're making progress along the way, and also sharing a roadmap to the future. Hey, if you're staying here another 6 months, another year, these are the opportunities that will become available to you then. If you can fit, I know that's a lot, but if you can fit a taste of that into your recruiting of Gen Z employees, that's gonna make your company look really attractive.